So I was looking at book covers early today because reasons, and I was just, yeah, we'll just kind of go in and talk about what we see. So I had just been doing a Google image search, and oh my gosh, in some genres, they know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. They have it down to like a science. In other genres, we'll just start with book covers. Then we'll go into specific genres and look at things. But let's just see what happens if I generically search for book covers. I don't know. I didn't try that yet. Okay. Now, you can tell quite clearly right off the bat, this one's a fantasy. Well, why are these three... this is a thing that happens a lot. You find multiple things stapled together for some reason into one image. Don't know why. This... we know exactly what this one is. But this one over here... this doesn't say anything. This is a terrible cover. I mean, for expressing what the story is about, this is terrible on this side. Okay, seriously, what the hell is this about? A dragon? A bird? A Nazi? What the heck? Okay, anyway, so specifically, here's a genre that the covers tell you exactly what the books are about at instant speed. There are actually several, but you look at this, there's no mistake. There's no mistake. You know what this is just by the cover. You know what this is. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a picture of a guy, a picture of a girl in a dress, like this one here. Like in the case of romance, you always know what genre this is instantly. So, what happens if we type mystery covers into Google, though? Is this a mystery? Does this look like a mystery novel cover to you? This one? Maybe this might be a mystery. It could be, but then again, it could be a thriller. It could be, I don't know. It just describes itself as a novel. Who writes a novel on their book? Is there confusion? Book, I'm not sure. This is a pretty cool cover, though. I think I used this one in the thumbnail. It's not even, it's pre-made. It's just, anyone want this? Anyone want to buy this cover? It's good. And I begin to wonder, like, look at this. This looks like a fairy tale thing. I actually wonder if Google is failing us with its image search. I mean, again, how do we know that this is a mystery? This could be an urban fantasy. Like, throw a witch on the cover. You've got an urban fantasy. This does not say mystery to me. This one's good, though. The blood tells you the genre. This one at least conveys it. Like, we're not even getting to, does the cover look good, or is it a strong hook, or does it, what's it saying? No, we're just trying to say, does it convey the genre at least? And so many of these are failing. Ghost, mystery, okay, I'll take it. Give that one a pass. Okay, but we can get to covers that make even less sense. Because specifically, I was trying to show mystery, and I came up into this mess. And I was like, okay, no, wait, hold on. And I figured, here's somebody who would have covers that would be easy to identify, right? Oh, was I wrong? Murder mystery? Take the name Agatha Christie and push that off the cover. Just pretend that her name isn't there. What genre is this? Cat Among the Pigeons? What? What is this? What am I looking at? Okay, better. You got a dead body. The Blood in the Drain. This one's perfect. This one's a good cover. Like this does the job. I totally, yep. It's got poison. It's got a drink. Passable. This one was good. Now we come to this. What is this? What is it? We've got a lot of women wearing the same dress around the sides. Is this a blog? Is this a diary? Is this... What is this? What is this? Just a lady and a lamp. The only thing we can say is what it's not. It's not a vampire story. We'll get to those in a minute. It's not a romance novel, probably. It's not a fantasy, probably. I mean, it could be an urban fantasy. This could be a witch. You don't know for sure, but probably not. It doesn't say anything. The thing is, it just doesn't speak to any genre. Like, again, Agatha Christie tells you what genre it is. Take her name off and, just scrub the title and the name, and you don't know what this picture is. These should be communicating something. What's this? A couple of spark plugs? Earrings? We don't know. What does that say? Gun, rose. We know what genre we're in. Done. Why a rose communicates death or mystery, I don't know. But instantly I know this is a mystery novel from those two props. For some reason. What is this? Okay. This one's not trying to convey what it is. This one's trying to sell you on the weirdness. This one is not even... It's just... Here you go. You want to know what this is? You want to know what this means? You're going to have to buy the book. I mean, yeah. All right, I didn't see the skeletal hand. I was going to say, so, okay, it's a... all right. This is a good cover. I don't know that it exactly says that it's a murder mystery, but we got to... It's, there's the blood steeping... Yeah, okay, it does. It does communicate it the more you look at it. Yeah, this is a good cover, actually. What the hell is this? I would expect some kind of... This is a philosophy book is what this is the cover of. This is some kind of surreal, philosophical adventure. Maybe gambling would be involved, probably. Oh my gosh, what is this mess? How many of these covers could you identify as a mystery? Well, this one's good here. 13? That's clear as day. Teeth? What is even this? What are these? Hold on, I'm going to bring it up to a larger size for y'all. This is not my normal streaming hour, so nobody's on right now. Oh well. A pig? Eyeballs and stars? Yeah. Enough said. Enough said. Alright. So, let's actually go to my favorite genre. Okay. This feels more like a heroic fantasy book cover. Maybe that's splitting hairs for a lot of people, but there's quite a difference. This looks like a low magic setting to me, but it tells you fantasy. I mean, it screams fantasy. Okay. It feels like a fantasy cover, But I have difficulty putting my finger on what about it screams fantasy. I mean, we don't have swords and knights. We have some scantily clad person here and some guy with a lantern. I mean, it could be a travel story. I don't know. It just says fantasy on it. It's bright and colorful. It'll stand out on a bookshelf. We got a sword, so we know we're in a fantasy. The spear, of course, as well. I think... Am I looking at a crown here? I'm not 100% sure what this is. My problem with this cover... Okay, that's a dragon. That's what I'm looking at. My problem with this is that the detail is so hard to make out. But, I don't know. It's alright, I guess. Again, every time you see epic fantasy, the cover tells you what genre you're in instantly. Instantly. You don't even need that many things. Look, just swords. Done. Look, in a magical book. Done. Fantasy. This is a fantasy? I mean, you got a sparkly light show on a mountain, but this one... not really telling me the genre quite so clearly. The Dragons of Everest. Okay, there you go. Now we know what genre we're in. I guess that spoiled what was under the mountain. Now we know. This is like it's got a mirror and everything. But yeah, once you put a sword on, you're done. Sword. We know what genre we're in. What? It could be historical fiction? It could be Ivanhoe and still have a sword on it? Yeah, true, but it's probably a fantasy. It probably is a fantasy. And you put a tower. Oh, we know what that is. Alright, let's jump genres again. Actually, I can't make out anything on any of that. Actually, while we're here, let's look at a few more outstanding pieces really quickly. Now, often a lot of authors hate their covers because they have no say in them. I've never heard Sanderson complain about his. The thing is, I honestly feel like his covers don't do his books justice most of the time. I mean, I don't know. This is just not what I picture when I picture our former slave with a sash brand on his head that can fly. I mean, this is definitely the Shattered Plains and all. We got the rock buds going on, but... Again, I just don't feel like these covers do his books justice in general. Like, this is a story about crazy chalk magic. And, I mean, there's a mathematics component to it. It is got some steampunk going. We did put gears all over it, though, at least. But, I don't know. Okay, this is a classy cover, though. His, Wax and Wayne... I really like the Wax and Wayne characters. You know, this one doesn't tell you what genre you're in for. And yet, I don't know, I feel it's kind of fitting to the character. But it'd probably be better if he had something that at least told you that you're in for, supernatural mystery. I personally think that this guy's got a supernatural power, but the story doesn't treat it as though what he's doing is supernatural. It's just, he's a genius. He has all these other personalities in his head. But to me, it crosses the line. But that's just me. Anyway, it just doesn't tell you what genre it is. As others usually at least pass that. This is not the cover of The Way of Kings I'm used to seeing. Where did this one come from? again, like, I don't know. I feel like his covers aren't doing his stories justice, by and large, for the most part. There's exceptions. Yeah, his Alcatraz ones are fine. It's fine. It'll do. Really, the title sells it more than the cover in those cases. Here's a different Arithmetist cover, but not getting a lot of art on it. This was no good. I never cared for this one. I know what it's supposed to represent. I've read the story twice. Like, I know the whole thing. It's just... it does not sell the book. Poor guy. We're going to move on to some other stuff in a minute. Look at this one. Firefight. Again, like, it's kind of an intense cover over a city, at least, but... it doesn't even tell you that this is a superhero story. Like, it literally doesn't... these covers, they don't say anything. Firefight. I'm expecting a bunch of gunfighters to be shooting it out at the OK Corral for that title. The background makes me think I'm in some kind of, I don't know, sci-fi where the sky rips open. You'd be half right. Oops. Oh, no, come back. What do we have here? A Wheel of Time collection. Sure, why not? Top row. You have failed. Seriously. If you see these in a bookstore, like, this is not going to sell. This doesn't tell you what it is. It just doesn't. Wheel spinning infinitely. Maybe this is supposed to represent Sidene and Sidar. I'm not 100% sure. But this is a Mickey Mouse book. Look! That is Mickey Mouse. I know that symbol. What are you doing? Who approved this? Okay, here's the covers we're more used to. Well, genre established. Genre established. We're clearly dealing with fantasy. Fantasy. Okay, we know what genre we're in. We get passing marks for that. Maybe not this one. Is that supposed to be Randall 4? Oh, man. I'm sorry. Wow. But aside from that one, like, even this, it feels a little bit Lord of the Ringsy somehow. Like, we think we're probably in some kind of fantasy here. Like, we at least establish genre, if nothing else. Is that how I pictured his hat looking? Honestly, yeah. They're not the best. They're not. Oh, what do we got down here? I haven't seen this one. Oh, we're in a book about pirates. Arr, matey. What we got here? Well, this says fantasy. Fantasy, okay, again. This just isn't doing it for me, man. Alright, well, at least... that's better. That's better. Now we're back to pirates. Arr, this is definitely a pirate story, right? Or maybe the story of the secret merfolk. The Secret History of Merfolk could be the title of this. Yeah. Huh. They used Perrin walking away from his axe. Unfortunately, this could be a very depressing story about a woodcutter who couldn't make a living at it. He's going home to his sick wife and kids who are starving. Yeah. Not very good. Not very good. Alright. I guess I have to give this a pass. Yeah, sure. Why not? I do like this one, though. This one is awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, yeah, we're just looking at book covers. That's all we're doing. I'm just wandering about, making fun of the bad ones. I pointed out that I was just doing this earlier with someone because I was just showing them, you know, I was trying to describe a piece of art I wanted and what I wanted it to look like. So I started looking at book covers to give examples, and I was aghast at how bad some covers were at expressing what genre they were. Some genres know exactly how to show you what they're about. Yeah. What these look? These are VHS things. Hold on. I mean, not that they're unrelated. Like if you go to GameStop or something and you look at RPGs nowadays, modern times, you always know they're RPGs. Like just looking at the cover, even if they didn't have a picture on it, you could just tell from the way they write their titles. Anyway, like this genre, they know what they're doing. It's got bats in it. This one is without the title. You might not know what genre this is. This could be, you know, the bats are your only clue. This is a vampire story. But most of them, you instantly know you're dealing with vampires. Many times. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just have a guy looking at us. What? Wait, are you a vampire? What's my hint that you're a vampire? You could be anything. You could be anybody. Maybe vampires aren't quite as consistent as I thought. We'll just go back to... I already skimmed over this, but here's a genre that knows what it is. Always. Instantly. Lady with dress. Shirtless guy. Doesn't matter. Every single one of these covers, you know what genre you're in. Except this one. I think he's coming out of a portal. I'm assuming that you're a wizard. I don't think this is a romance at all. Then again, maybe it is. It could just be one of those, you know. What's this? This does a terrible job too. Okay, not every one of them, but most. The majority. We know what genre we're in. But you go to other genres, and they just don't know what genre they are. Like, they don't convey themselves very well. Let's see, where do we want to go next? What genre? What genre? There's plenty to pick from. How about... No, wait. I think I should go into more exacting genres and not just type in sci-fi or something. Yep, that's a space opera. That screams space opera as well. Here's a genre that knows what it is. Amazing stories. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. This is sci-fi from that time period. I typed in space opera. I'm getting a lot of things where I'm not quite so sure. Oh, it ate my word book again. How do I keep deleting that on Ox? Okay, there we go. Yep. Larry Niven, this is one of the most famous works of sci-fi ever. Why does it not look like anything? This is sci-fi. This is sci-fi. What is this? I swear, half the time the marketing department should know better. There you go. That is a sci-fi cover. I know exactly what I'm buying. Actually, no, I don't. I just know what genre I'm in, which is good. I don't know what kind of story it is, but I know what genre it's in. And, you know, if I'm a fan, if I'm looking for a space opera, that cover would do it for me. Hammer of Doom, there's a title. Is this one of those sci-fi that's all, oh no, the world ended and we all had to re-embrace nature? No, the title doesn't say that. What does this say about what kind of sci-fi we're looking at? Is this a military sci-fi? Maybe, but I'm not seeing a bunch of space marines, but maybe could be a military sci-fi. We're definitely in the far future where space flight is normal. Could this be... Really hard to say a whole lot about this other than this. Like, are we going to be dealing with starship captains? Are we going to be dealing with Star Trek, like exploring new worlds? What else do we know? Not much. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. The cursor, I don't know. I set the options to make it visible, and for some reason, OBS is just not showing my cursor. And I really wish I could do something about it, but I can't seem to find any way to enable it to show the cursor. I swear it used to show my cursor. Well, maybe I can do something. Alright, whatever I'm on is being highlighted. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I left it enlarged. Yeah, I was talking about this one last. I know I clicked on it. Whatever I'm hovering over is what I'm talking about. I'm sure there's been bad space operas. I just can't think of any right now that I've read that I hated. I mean, there's plenty of bad fantasy, which is the genre I read the most heavily. There's been some bad classic literature, to be sure, that everyone's like, this is the greatest book ever. Then I read it, I'm like, this was not the greatest book ever. I can't think of a space opera I've read that was really bad, though. Like, there's a lot of bad short stories that I've read, sci-fi short stories. There's, like, different ages in science fiction, too. Like, if you buy science fiction written in, like, the 30s to 40s, it has a completely different tone and feel from the stuff written in the 60s and the 80s and so on. And there's certain eras where they just get stuck. Like, I am so tired of technology was bad and we all went back to nature. Behold our great sci-fi. I'm here for sci-fi. Give me crazy sci-fi tech. Like, no, humanity needed to go back to nature. That's the point. If I wanted that, I'd go read a bunch of fantasy about elves. There's a genre for that already. And then there was an entire period where I swear every other short story was the world ended because of nuclear war, or the world ended because of overpopulation, with numbers that were lower than the populations we have today, destroying the planet. But, like, so many were all post-apocalyptic, one of those two, over and over and over and over. I was like, good grief. It's not that I mind those as premises, it's that there were way the hell too many of them, and they were all just kind of copying each other. This is a pretty evocative cover. Space opera book cover. This isn't any particular book. This is just, hey, anybody want this? I made it. Yes, the world wars change it, but not just the world wars. Like, they change constantly. Like, look at the cyberpunk genre. Look at God, you know, like just there's so many subgenres, and they're constantly changing. Like, sci-fi, more than any other genre, is constantly in flux. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Jules Verne. Not that I love everything he ever wrote, but he had some gems. And his style, though, like the hard sci-fi, like The Martian was the most recent big success I can think of that I think of as being the same style of book. Although The Martian had a really great main character, and Jules Verne could not write characters to save his life. He had, like, for every good character Jules Verne could write, he'd write 5 novels where all the characters may as well be cardboard. But he had some good stuff. He did write some good stuff. He was more of an idea guy. It conveys genre, nothing else again. Starting to notice that that's the problem with sci-fi book covers, is that they're conveying genre and nothing else. Let's try Star Wars. Hold on. Okay. I mean, obviously, any cover with a lightsaber, you're like, we've done our job. We've done our job, you know what this is. Vader's helmet, okay, fair enough. I remember reading this one. Ah, boy. Is there a Star Wars cover that doesn't have a lightsaber on it? Or a stormtrooper? Okay, here we go. Alright, if we didn't know who these people were, which would be hard, you'd have to have been born on Pluto. If we didn't know what these characters were, what would this cover convey? Well, that's a sci-fi gun. That's a planet, so we know we're in a sci-fi without a spaceship being needed, or a space suit, and we know that we're dealing with hairy bear people. So we've got aliens. It communicates fairly well. I think that the Star Wars covers are largely cheating because 100% of them are just using things that we recognize from the movies. So, I mean, you know. Let's try military sci-fi. Battlefield Earth. Well, let's see if the cover tells us that it's a space opera. No. No, it does not. To be honest, I've never read or watched Battlefield Earth. I don't know. I know. Break out the torches and pitchforks. Hadriex has not read every book ever written. Not even all the famous ones. Not even all the good ones. I have no idea what this one actually is about. It looks like a space opera to me. It's got spaceships and ray guns and kind of a little bit of a medieval look going on with this guy. Space fantasy, perhaps? I don't know. Okay. This is probably a space opera or military sci-fi. Could be a military sci-fi. Though the cover with the shirtless guy says that it's not. That's probably a sci-fantasy. Dune. I actually have only read a couple of the old original Dune books, like the first Dune, and I'm not sure how many of them I actually read. I've not seen any new Dune. I don't know. How do I put this? I understand why it's popular. I understand how it's influential. I can see what it did for world building, and I appreciate the contribution that it made to sci-fi and fantasy. It made sci-fi and fantasy a better genre by existing. But I didn't enjoy Dune very much. I don't know what to say. My problems with Dune, like, it's there were things like, we're a sci-fi, we're not magical, really we're not, now prophecy. Okay, alright. Now we have this absolutely magical mind abilities. Okay, we're magical sci-fi. Okay, psychic powers are a thing. I can... Cool, psychic power... No. Psychic powers are not a thing. What? Well, then what's with all... You can literally mind control people with your voice. This is psychic. This is totally psychic powers. No, it's not psychic powers. Also, we can never make computers that are computers ever again because something went wrong with that in the past. Okay, like the world building, the worms, like there's a lot of stuff that was cool about it. It wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't my cup of tea. There was a lot of time where I was just But, you know, there's some cool stuff about it too. I'm big on epic fantasy. I like classic literature, actually. Like right now, I'm working my way through Les Miserables. I'm probably not pronouncing it quite correctly because I'm not French. But I just finished the first 8 books. It's really just the first book. Like I've read War and Peace, Dracula, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, so on and so forth. Like I'm a big fan of classic literature more than anything, you know, and epic fantasy in particular for more modern literature. Yeah. There's a lot of people that were, you know, I always heard about how great this knife fight was. And I get to the knife fight and it was okay. I've read much better action scenes. I don't know. Admittedly, though, as you go into older literature, their action scenes are terrible. Like, nobody knew how to write a sword fight for, like, ever. The first author I can remember, like, there probably are examples before this, but the oldest author I'm aware of to do sword fights where I'm like, wow, that was awesome. I could picture the whole battle in my head was R.A. Salvatore, who's pretty freaking recent. He's still alive and writing. I mean, he's modern as heck. That was the first time I saw action scenes, and I think that's why Drist sells, honestly. I think it's just he does really good action scenes. I think those are what moves the books. You know, even some authors that I love could not write a sword fight. Anyway, let's look at military sci-fi and see if, okay, this cover tells us what we're in for. At least the genre is clear as day. Fail. This does not express military sci-fi. Of course, I'm expecting Google to actually deliver what I'm typing in. If this is some other genre, then who knows? This just says spaceships. This just says sci-fi. Nothing about this says that we're in the military sci-fi subgenre. Half credit. I can't tell for sure that I'm on a battlefield or anything. Like, I can't tell where I am. But this does feel like some kind of either a spacesuit or a death robot. One of the two. It looks like a thing of violence coming towards me. And it's clearly sci-fi. So at least we got that much. The title is good. But you take the title off, it's just a spaceship and some people. Again. Okay. Battlefield with spaceships, missiles. Okay, we're in military sci-fi. I can't tell that I'm necessarily in the ruins of a sci-fi. This could just be a post-apocalyptic story. But, I mean, those are soldiers. It's in the right ballpark. It's a lady with a gun in a forest. That doesn't say much. That this could be modern. Yes, I have read the entire Wheel of Time. It panned out to be about the best fantasy series, but the best part of it was when Brandon Sanderson came in, and I didn't know who he was at the time. I was just like, I don't know who this guy is, but he did a better job than Robert Jordan. Oh, of course, part of it, we'll never know how much of those last 3 books were written by Robert Jordan before he died. We'll never know how much of it was him, but man, Sanderson did a hell of a job. He had, what did he say? He had gone over, he was writing one of them, and he had done like something like 57 editing passes of it or something. Like, he really worked on those. Yeah. Galactic Frontiers. It's just a space opera. We don't know that this is military. It doesn't say, it doesn't show us in the image. Yeah, I don't know what genre this is. Beyond sci-fi. I guess it would have to be military to wear something like that. Oh, here's a nice collection. Wow. Almost every cover here successfully expresses genre. That's not the original Ender's Game cover. That's the pretty one that they made later. Oh, yeah! Here's a fun one. Now, this was before fantasy as a genre was what we think of today. We should probably be forgiving for that, but even so, this did a lousy job. This is the one I had as a teenager. This one. Well, it expresses the genre correctly, but kids these days, they get, where is it? Where's the new cover? Where's the new cover that they have now? They have one where they took a movie. Here it is. This one. Look at this thing. Okay, this is not crisp and clean, this image of it, but look at this cover. It's perfect. It doesn't even have to show a sword or anything. I mean, maybe you could assume that, maybe you could think that this wasn't, it's got to be fan. I mean, you could think it was a sci-fi, maybe, I don't know. But, like, it speaks of journey, it's just, that's a cover. Much better than the stuff we had. Oh, wait, there it was right there. Look at that. Now, a major motion picture. That's a clearer one. Are they going to try to make a TV series out of it? You know what they need to do? They need to cut about, I don't know, maybe 4 books worth of content. Like, not actually remove the physical books, but the amount of things that need to be cut out of the Wheel of Time to make it perfect. The story just drags in the middle, particularly. Like, there's plot lines that just run on, and it's just a really good fantasy series, but it needs some editing. It really does. There's, what was it? There was a book. It's common knowledge among writers nowadays. Well, not all writers, obviously, but common industry wisdom now is, you're finished with your book. You've finished editing your book. Great! Now go through page by page and remove 10% of the words. For most authors, that is an extremely good idea. It was started by the people who did Moat and God's Eye, I think it was. And it's true. When you finish writing and you think you're done, go through and cut some words, man. It will make the pacing of your story so much better in most cases. Alright, let me see. Let's pick another subgenre. Didn't we already do mystery? I think we already did murder mystery. Yeah, we already did this one. Here's one that anybody should be able to get right. Right? I mean, the title is perfect, but that's got the right feel to it, I think. Not quite. Yeah, that's got the right feel to it, I think. Definitely fairy tale. That one, perfect. Yeah? Yeah, I think that's about right. See, they know what they're doing with this genre. Oh, well, I mean, obviously, if you're going to look up fairy tale, of course. I still haven't watched that. Then again, there's a crap ton of anime I still haven't watched. Okay, this looks like a cartoon. Alright, let's see. Name a genre. Name a genre while I type in, While we look at this, you guys can call the next genre we'll look at. Heroic fantasy. Well, that cover sells the fantasy, all right. Doesn't specifically tell me that I'm in the sword and sandals, Conan the Barbarian type genre here. That's more like it. Yeah, that feels like heroic fantasy right there. This feels more like high fantasy. I think it's because you put magic in the glove. I think it's because of that discount Infinity Gauntlet you got there. Yeah, I know I'm in a fantasy genre. That's all this says to me. There you go. That's heroic fantasy again. The random lady clinging to your leg while you're posing, mostly naked. Why would you sword fight mostly naked? It's a bad idea. Oh yeah, at least you put some chainmail on your crotch. At least you're or scale mail. At least you're protecting something. This is the one part of my body I can't afford to lose. My head? I don't care about that. Yeah, okay, fine. This is a good cover. Look at this. Robert E. Howard. This is a Conan the Barbarian, or at least... Is this Conan the Barbarian? In the tradition of... Okay, it's not Conan the Barbarian. It's just... Here you go. This is heroic fantasy. You can tell, like, it's the low-tech, low-magic, like, muscular characters. That's your heroic fantasy image. That's what you have to capture with this kind of cover here. The naked ladies clinging to them are, I guess, a fashion accessory. I mean, yeah. The guys don't even notice them. They don't even notice that they're there. They're busy. Like, where do these ladies keep coming from? They're always grabbing my legs. Why am I being grappled again? Let go. I'm trying to shoot something. See, this is not heroic fantasy. It's too magical. It's too medieval. That's another thing. Heroic fantasy is not Middle Ages, generally. Okay, I don't know what I'm in. Biography? Okay. I have no idea what we're going to see when I type in biographies. This one tells you what it is. I won't say I'm super enthusiastic about his look in it, but at least we know what it is. The Vampire Women. That's horror fiction. Google, serve me what I ask for. This is the wrong one again. At least it feels like it. I mean, this could be heroic fantasy. I think the image of the person is what's wrong with it. There's no rippling biceps. The Ant-Man. Oh, well, I mean, this is heroic. If I asked for heroic fantasy and you gave me this, I knew that you knew what I was talking about. Good job, Google. All right. I'm expecting faces. I'm expecting the faces of historical figures. I have no idea what the correct cover is to sell biographies, but I'm going to assume if I was writing a biography about, I don't know, Abraham Lincoln, whatever, I'd assume that the only people interested would be people looking for Abraham Lincoln, which means his face should be the correct thing on it. What are we going to actually get? I don't know, but this is what I assume. Oh, wait, Patrick Troughton has a... Oh, look at that. There's a biography of the Second Doctor. Cool. Yeah, it's actually exactly what I was expecting. Who made a biography of Anne Frank? You've already got her diary. That's like... How much more is there to know about her? The faith of? What, really? Oh. It's not on the top 10 things I'd have expected to write a book about him. Okay. Yeah, these are all just faces of famous... What the hell is this? What did you do? Is it the Joker? The man of many characters. Okay. Well, this one would at least stand out on the biography shelf. You failed to even give us the name of who you're talking about in the title. That's got to be the Joker, right? That's got to be the Joker, right? Right? Yeah. I think I'm done here. Well, somebody wanted to be represented by a can of... cat food? Okay. Oh, that's what you want. Okay, let's see. Next genre. Surely this one should be clear. And oh my gosh, what are these? Maybe Google doesn't understand what I asked it. No, Google does not understand what I just asked it. Obviously, it has misinterpreted me. Oh, hey, look, Gulliver's Travels. It's a comic book. All right, it's comic book cover time. Okay, what does this say? That Superman is in it. I guess that's the bare minimum. What does this say? That Superman is in it. Do we need to tell you what the story's about? Apparently not. Try again. That Superman is in it. Seriously, we're not... Again? Alright, no, hold on. That's not fair. Okay, this one. We see that Superwoman has died. Or is unconscious. And there's an angry mob. Okay, this one expresses something. And he's not happy. Alright. That Superman is in it. And these two people. The secret origin. That there's a lion in it. It's like, okay. That he's strong enough to break chains, if you weren't sure. Name a superhero we go for next. My gosh. Alright, here we go. Here we go. This is the era when they always had text bubbles in them. Supergirl, why did you betray me? I'll never forgive you. We've caught him red-handed. Clark Kent has been pretending to be meek and cowardly for years. The cover-up, in fact, he is Superman. This is the Super Dicky era, when every cover was a lie. Or, well, not necessarily, but the idea was that covers sold comic books, not their content. So there's a whole era of superhero comics for DC where just every cover was the most shocking thing they could imagine, and then the writers were handed this cover, and they were told, here, to do something with this. It didn't always result in bad stories, but it wasn't the best way to go about writing stories. It's surprising how many of these covers are just, it's Superman. It's Superman. It's Superman. It's, yeah, okay. Here we go. Well, if I had to bet on a Batman to take on Superman, I'd probably go with the old school classic Batman too. The modern ones just don't stand a chance against him. But classic, oh, the world's finest. That was Batman and Superman as a team. Like, they had a whole series of just Batman and Superman working together. I used to have, I might still, anyway. Okay, this one is famous for being the first, and you don't know who this character is because it's the first time this comic existed. Obviously, he's a supervillain, and he hates cars. That's not far off from what the story actually was. Cars are evil because they hit people. I must destroy all cars. Ah, Superman at his best. Nobody's suggesting any superheroes. What do you want next? Spider-Man? Spider-Man. Spidey should have good stuff. Alright, come on. Let's try. I mean, we're on theme. Here we go. Boy, the style of the character, the way he's drawn, really changes. I mean, aside from it being Spider-Man, this says nothing, but I kind of like it anyway. Oh, being Spider-Man sucks. Well, Spider no more. Okay, I guess this one does a good job of expressing what this storyline was. An evocative image? Wait, did he beat Grey Hulk? When did that happen? I like how they tilt this sideways with the thing. Like they're having fun with this. Spider-Man and the Punisher. Okay, this is good. Putting him in the crosshairs, putting the Punisher there, that is awesome. Death without warning. Facepalm. Yeah. These are just, it's Spider-Man, it's Spider-Man, it's Spider-Man. Yeah. The Green Goblin's in it. Okay, that says something. Captain America's in this one. Back to just, well, it's Spider-Man. Well, if you like Spider-Man, you'll probably like these. What, should we tell you something about the story inside? Nah. I'm sorry, it's lazy cover design when you do that. Even if the cover itself looks really cool. Here, we'll... Oh man, it's too blurry. I can't read it. Still, this one's better. It tells you what the storyline is. I think this is a better kind of cover. Although this one's pretty freaking awesome close up here. It does put something in his eye visors. But yeah, too many. It's Spider-Man. Alright, one last superhero. Batman. Then we'll go poke one other genre, and then we're done. It's a dark Batman story. Okay. Batman begins here. I think I want... Let's try... For fun. What am I looking at? Okay, there you go. What is going on in this picture? The Joker has clearly done his grinning toxin, and Batman's been infected. Wow. Robin, what's happening to you? I would say that he is melting into ash. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out. You wanted to be with me in the end, Lois? This is it. So long. Yep. That era of comics. With a Tommy gun. Nope. Sorry, Jimmy. The ground rules allow only one of you to survive. You or Aquaman. Hey, how's it going? Alright, quickly, Drowbard. Name a genre of fiction. Whatever you name will be the last genre we poke at today. Oops, doggone it. Didn't mean to click that. I kind of like the shape they gave his cape. It's just got Robin. What the hell? What? Batman number 2. Okay. Batman and Robin on their jet skis. Quick, Tark, use your ray gun. It's just, I don't know. At least you know exactly what kind of story you're in for with these covers. Whoa, that is way too large to be in that egg. Hey, Scott, what's coming out of that giant fossil egg? We'll soon find out. Anything out of this world is our specialty. I actually am not familiar with these characters. Superman, stop my wedding to Titan Man. I just found out the terrible secret his mask was hiding. Serves you right for choosing him over me, Lois. Marry him. Oh, these covers. Oh, these covers. Oh, man. Okay, the new life of Super Merman. Goodbye, Lois. I've changed myself into a merman so I can join my beloved mermaid and her people under the sea. It's just... oh, that is awesome. Although it doesn't tell me what the story's about. I assume evil Batman and his army of evil Batmen with spiked wristbands. What? Yeah, they all wear their underwear outside their clothing. We knew that. That's not news. Another time when he won't let anyone have water. Jeez, man. What is your problem? Superman snapped my air hose because I wouldn't marry him. He's committing the perfect murder. Yes. Nobody will be able to figure out how you died of lack of air in space. Confess you killed Clark Kent, Jimmy. I found these clothes in the sea. Now, what did you do with the body? Superman knows I'm guilty. I'll just have to kill him too, with this special gamma weapon. Lena, now do you believe I'm Clark Kent? Clark Kent? Of course not. What kind of idiot do you take me for? This is what Clark Kent looks like. Yeah. Jimmy Olsen marrying a monkey? A gorilla? Ah, jeez. Yeah, this era of comics. The super dicky stuff. Well, nobody said anything. I'm now choosing one final genre. What is it gonna be? Let's see, we've done romance, horror, fantasy, multiple sci-fi genres. We did murder mystery. We didn't do horror, did we? Not straight up horror. Okay. Vampire. This does not quite say horror to me. This feels more like an adventure. Maybe robbing a tomb or something. Or it could be a murder mystery. It's a tree. Okay, it's a spooky atmosphere, I guess. I mean, I don't know what the contents of the book are, but unless it sits there staring at a tree for 6 chapters, which, to be fair, could be what the novel's about. Good grief, I've read a few novels that spend 6 chapters staring at trees. I'm not sold that this is horror, necessarily. There's birds, there's eyes, probably. But I'm not 100% sold that this is necessarily... Okay, this is horror. This is definitely horror. Well, half credit? I mean, it could still be other genres? Again, we're not showing anything. Ooh, there's fog and tree branches. Is that just shorthand for horror? Yeah, if you take the words off of this, what do you got? A lady walks down a hall. This could be fantasy. This could be archaeology adventures. This could be architectural critique. Again, trees. Okay, at least you have a skull? I don't know, that's not really... Nope, that's not necessarily a horror. Okay, that's a horror novel. Yeah, anything with a clown on it. Anything coming out of a coffin with those long fingernails and that pale... Yeah, that's horror. Horror. Definitely horror. Definitely. What is this? This isn't a horror cover. This is a fantasy. This is a kid going off to have a magical adventure. This is Narnia. It's just a hand. I'm sorry, it's not enough. The full moon doesn't do the job by itself. I mean, I assume it is horror over other genres, but look at this. This is better. The way the fingers are contorted, it feels unnatural. This is better. Yep. The adventures in the monasteries under France, where they pile skulls. Yeah, that's probably horror. It's probably. Well, I mean, this could be any number of things. I don't know, man. This looks like a slice of life to me. Just a day in the life of Satan. Oh, come on. Just because you put a girl's hair in front of her face doesn't make her the ring girl. Try harder. At least put some effort into this. Okay, yeah, we know what that is. That one's plain as day. Whoops, did I accidentally click? Yeah, click that. Fine. Does its job. What's this? I'm not convinced this is a horror. This could be a whimsical adventure. This could be a whimsical fantasy, and that's the creepy villain. But this is horror. Every time you put a clown on the cover, you're done. It's a horror story. That's it. That's all you need. Ew. Oh yeah, that's horror. That's either that or it's a new cookbook. It could be a new cookbook. How to eat worms. How to get your protein on the cheap. No, I'll give them that one. You just took a hand, you wrapped it in some toilet paper, and you stuck eyeballs on it, and you said, I'm done. And you sold it to Stephen King. Stephen King bought it. Or maybe he made it. He's enough of a name that he could just have a say on what his covers are. I'm sorry, this doesn't convey a genre to me. It could be a mystic story about psychics or something. I don't know. Probably is. Stephen King likes his shinings. This is a psychological thriller. Okay, no, actually, I'm starting to see a little bit of creepy stuff under the skin. Okay, this is probably horror. The moss, a little bit more. I mean, this could have been a psychological, like, oh, I'm breaking up, you know. Yeah. This genre knows what it's doing a lot better than Murder Mystery did. They know how to make their covers. So, I think with this, we're done here for today. Okay, they're not all hits. It's so scary. It's a hoodie. From people who are terrified by looking at people's merchandise pages. Boy, it shows up a lot. He must have had a lot of covers. You know what? There is something really disturbing about this cover. This conveys horror. Is it the sides? Is it these walls of fog, or is it the hand and the arm? I mean, we all know the scene that this alludes to. Like, we all saw the show when we were too young to be watching things like that. We all saw it. But it's got really nice, you know, the yellow, the red, like the focus. It's just a good cover, and it conveys horror. It just does. Somehow. Why is this among my horror? Well, I mean, we do have a child being strangled by a snake. Yeah. The Harry Potter covers are not another series that didn't get the best cover art, in my opinion. I'm sure there'll be a horde of people to scream heresy at me for saying that, but they just didn't. Oh, this is just a cool image. But, I mean, this could be a crime drama. This is not necessarily a horror book. The monstrosity. The subtitle area. I like these people that are just trying to sell book covers. Some of them are really cool. Like, it's a striking image. It really is. Yep, that's Demon Dog. Yep. Nope, that's a door. I don't care what you do with your lighting. That's a door. Take this shadow and give it shape. I want to see a giant tentacle monster. Or a silhouette of a person, and then put their eyes as a different color, like white or red or something. Something. It's just a door. Here we go. There you go. Man, lady, you have picked the wrong boyfriend. Nope. Nope. Shouldn't have dated that one. Maybe he's funny. That's just a guy with a scar, but okay, fine. It's fine. It passes. But I'm gonna go now. We're out of time. Alright, fine. We'll type in one last thing. Clever. We're still on comic books? How far is my stream is lagging, but it's not lagging that much, is it? Alright, let's see. Clever and smart. Oh, this stuff. How did you end up in this position, grabbing his arm that way? It's odd. Oh no, I can't read that. Well, the mice seem to be taking turns jumping into the spiked punch. You're not happy about that because you need to serve it to all these people. You're gonna trip an elephant with a cane? Oh, that poor cat. You're gonna stuff it in a bag? This is how we catch an elephant. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. Somebody has it in for you. I don't see how the toilet paper's gonna hurt you, but everything else here. Wow, okay, yeah. These are some pretty good covers, actually. These are a cut above much of what I've been seeing today. They would sell. I would buy some of these if I ran into them in a store. Maybe not this one so much. Alright. And we're already out. Yeah, The Art of War is one of those books that doesn't really need an image. You can just give its title. I mean, I know I'm kind of, you know, like the image should sell it, but there's a few things that are just like, yeah, like The Art of War. Everyone knows what it is. Alright, we're done here. So, maybe I'll do this again someday. Who knows? Until next time, and every time, this is Hadriex signing off. Bye.